big cat. Welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess light walker here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.
Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat Earth Signs. Welcome or welcome back to Big Cat Astrology, Big Cat Wave, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising. The planetary hot topics to add to your almanac over the next 7 days. On the 2nd of September, Mars in Gemini squares Neptune in Pisces. Mars' square in Neptune is a tense alignment where Mars is in detriment in Gemini, leading to possible confusion and blurred directions. You might feel a struggle between your desires and your ability to act effectively on them. There's a risk of misinterpretation of situations or being misled, so double check facts and stay grounded in reality. This period might bring a sense of uncertainty. Use it to explore your motivations and to make sure that you are aligned with your true values. Avoid making impulsive decisions, especially if you're unsure about the outcome. Patience and reflection are key. This time is to redefine your goals and plans, ensuring that they are both realistic and inspired by genuine intention. On the 2nd, the new moon in Virgo. The new moon in Virgo presents a time for fresh starts and setting practical intentions. It's advised to avoid scheduling surgeries or major medical procedures during a new moon, as the body's healing process might not be at its peak. This is the perfect time to set new goals that require attention to detail and careful planning. Focus on organizing your life, whether it's decluttering your space, redefining your routines, or starting a new health regime. Virgo's influence encourages you to approach new projects with precision and a methodical mindset. Use this new moon to plant seeds for the future growth, focusing on creating a more solid foundation for your endeavors. On the 4th, Mars enters Cancer. This transit will last until the 22nd of October 2024. Mars is full in Cancer, where it usually asserts energy. It becomes more inward focused and emotionally driven. You might find your actions more influenced by your feelings, especially in matters related to home and family. This transit encourages you to protect and nurture those that you care about. Be mindful of potential passive aggressiveness. Direct your energy into creating a space and a more secure environment, both emotionally and physically. While Mars in Cancer can make it harder to assert yourself directly, it offers a chance to connect deeply with your inner motivations and personal needs. On the 5th, the moon in Libra is conjunct to Venus in Libra. The moon and Venus line in Libra, a sign where Libra is in its domicile, enhancing harmony, beauty, and relationship dynamics. You'll likely feel a strong desire for peace and balance in your interactions with others. This is an ideal time to focus on creating beauty in your surroundings, whether through art, design, or simply by cultivating a more pleasant atmosphere. Relationships take center stage. Use this energy to resolve any lingering conflicts with diplomacy and grace. Engage in social activities that bring you joy and deepen your connection with loved ones. Enjoy the enhanced sense of harmony and cooperation that comes with this transit, as it's a time to foster positive and supportive relationships. On the 6th, Mercury in Leo squares Uranus in Taurus. Mercury squares Uranus, creating tension as Mercury in Leo clashes with Uranus in Taurus, both in challenging positions. Communication might be erratic, with the potential for sudden outbursts or unexpected news disrupting your plans. Be prepared for surprises and stay adaptable, as your usual approach could be turned upside down. This transit encourages thinking outside the box, but be cautious of ideas that might be too radical or impulsive. It's important to remain flexible and avoid making hasty decisions, especially regarding finances or technology. Use this time to embrace creative problem solving, but ensure that your ideas are practical and grounded in reality. On the 7th, the Sun in Virgo's opposition to Saturn in Pisces. The Sun in Virgo opposes Saturn in Pisces, highlighting a tension between practicality and idealism. You might feel a sense of restriction or burden by your responsibilities that conflict with your personal goals. This is a time to balance your duties with your need for self-expression and personal fulfillment. Saturn's influence may require you to take a more disciplined approach, even if it feels limiting. Use this opposition to assess your long-term goals and make sure that you are realistic and aligned with your current capabilities. Although challenges may arise, perseverance and a strong work ethic will help you overcome obstacles and achieve your aims. On the 8th, Phallus, representing wisdom, strategy, and creative intelligence, moves into Sagittarius, where it will remain until the 21st of November 2024. This transit encourages broad-minded thinking and a thirst for knowledge and exploration. You may find yourself more interested in learning new things or expanding your understanding of different cultures and philosophies. Phallus in Sagittarius supports strategic thinking, especially when it comes to long-term plans and the big picture ideas. Use this time to explore new opportunities for growth and development, whether through travel, education, or personal adventures. Embrace the adventure spirit of Sagittarius and let it inspire you to think creatively and act with wisdom. Please stay tuned in for the tarot reading to follow. Big Cat Wave! Namaste! Grand Rising Big Cat Earth Signs. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for messages for your next 7 days. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Big Cat Wave. Let's dive right in and unpack. You have the energy of an 8, darling. The 8 keeps coming out, darling dears. Energy of the 8. Okay. The energy of the 8, according to the low shoe grid, is represented by the northeastwardly direction, darling dears. Maybe something coming from there or going towards there. It covers the elements of air, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, and the element of water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So not allowing your emotions to influence your decisions over the next 7 days. Okay. So the energy of the 8, according to the low shoe grid, is about your self-knowledge, going within, finding some kind of peace, some kind of solace. But it's also utilizing that wisdom, darling dears, knowing when to hold them and when to fold them, darling dears. Okay. Your luckiest colors over the next 7 days will be blues as well as greens. We have the energy of the 6. So the 6 is telling me you may have something involving some kind of a medical visit, darling dears, whether it's a hospital, doctors, a medical center. Maybe you want some assistance going to these visits, or you want someone to assist you. Okay. The energy of the 6, darling dears, is Venus energy. So it could be things around something to do with your blood. Come on, case. Your blood, your face, your lips, your neck, your nose, your lungs, something to do with that. You'll be having to make some kind of a hospital visit, darling dears. We also have the energy of the 2 telling me that luck is on your side, darling dears. I love it. I don't hate it. This also speaks about this being an extremely fortunate time for you. Gifts, compliments, lots of luck coming out of nowhere, darling dears. If you've got travel plans or business trips that you're traveling for, or you're going to be signing business contracts, everything is going to go fabulous, gorgeous and lovely over the next 7 days. It's also about you broadening your horizons. Maybe you're reading more uplifting books, meditating, taking the time, as I said, to go within and lean on your own understanding. Okay, the energy of the 2 could also speak about a winning money. Maybe you're going to win the lottery. Confirmation, darling dears, confirmation. Yeah, so the energy of the 2 and 6, darling dears, again, it speaks about some kind of business. You're going to be having great luck in some kind of a business affair over the next 7 days, darling dears. But we've also, with the energy of the 8, someone is going to try and blame something on you. There'll be blame shifting and mean, darling dears. We have the energy of the 7 on top. Again, this is the genius mode, darling dears. You're going to have to use your cranium. As an earth sign, you know how to what? Protect your kingdom, darling dears. Use wisdom in all situations. Use diplomacy in all situations. And remember, not every battle must you attend. Okay? On the side of the dice, we've got the energy of the 11. The 11th house, darling dears. So this is about your groups, people that pay money to you from an employer. Groups could be a membership to something, some kind of community that you're in. It's about you getting, you're being awarded something, you're getting something, okay, and in the form of funds coming towards you, darling dears. Okay. The energy of the 6th house tells me it's about your health, and the energy of the 2 tells me about money coming towards you, money involving your resources. This is your financial security, how you make your money, darling dears. So you definitely have some form of money coming towards you over the next 7 days, darling dears. Energy of the 7 tells me that you've analyzed a lot. There's a lot of wisdom that you gain from this. Okay. Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Let's move on. So the energy of the 8, darling dears, you could be a life path 8, or the number 8, 17 or 26 will be prevalent in your life over the next 7 days. The number 8 is ruled by Saturn. Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. We've already spoke about the Aquarius. Capricorn is about your status, okay, as well as the letters P and F. It speaks about you putting some kind of structure, overcoming some limitation in your life, darling dears. The energy of the 8 tells me you are the CEO, a high achiever over the next 7 days. Your luckiest numbers will be the 2, 4 and 8. The luckiest days will be Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Avoid the numbers 3, 7 and 9. Okay, this is about your inner fortitude, darling dears. Yeah, you've got the certain je ne sais quoi. Yeah. Again, the energy of the 8 speaks about material satisfaction, you being in your power, and it also speaks about you'll be driven, or you was driven to this conclusion, darling dears. Yeah, receiving accolades, some kind of award after the research that you did. It speaks about a struggle. There was many delays. But whatever it is that's coming towards you is coming in hot, darling dears. It's coming in hot. Okay, energy of the 11 could also speak about because it's Uranus energy and it's about electricity. You could be doing something online, darling dears, and it also speaks about fans giving you accolades, people looking at how you do your thing, darling dears. This itself is fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. It's all about what? Law number 9 of the 48 laws of power, winning through your actions and never through your words. Let's press on. Let's get some outside energy before we go forward. My hand keeps going between the... We're going to take one of each. How about that? Energy for the earth signs. Thank you. New levels, new devils. So definitely breaking some kind of glass ceiling, darling dears. And it's also being aware of the people around you going forward. Remember, as a big cat earth sign, we've learned to move in silence. Be the professor of the puzzle, right? Because what? All prayers are about to be answered at this moment in time, darling dears. It also speaks about praying, keeping protection around yourself in these new levels that you are moving towards. Let's get the second deck. Yeah, because somebody wants some vengeance with you, darling dears. Vengeance? Is it that... Are they having the what? Buyer's remorse? Because you've about to hit the jackpot. What did I say to you about the Skrilla.com, the folding stuff that's coming towards you over the next 7 days, darling dears? Base of the deck, darling dears. Your loyalty is paying off. Remember, I told you that. Base of the deck, you're bossing up. Can I listen? I could end the reading right now. We'd have a fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely time. Okay, the energy of the 8, darling dears. It also speaks about karma and money, darling dears, because it's a representative of the 8th house. The 8th house is ruled by Pluto, so Pluto is the planet of transformation as well as sudden change. Okay, something is being paid into you, darling dears. This could be money from an inheritance, some form of tax, joint finances from moving in with someone, business contracts. It can speak about the ending of a cycle, retirement, darling dears. All of that major money is coming towards you, darling dears, but it's also in the house of letting go. And again, this speaks about letting go of a situation or circumstance, but it's allowing you to hit the jackpot, darling dears. All of your what? Wildest dreams about to be answered. And someone out there wants vengeance with you, darling dears. They want the vengeance. Ha ha! Ooh, child. But never forget the new levels and the new devils, darling dears. There's always battles to be won, but the biggest battles are won in silence. Remember, I told you that. All right. Okay, let's press on to the decks. Base of the deck, darling dears. We've got the 9 of Cups in the upright. I might add, darling dears. This is speaking about some kind of wish fulfillment coming through for you. Did I not just say this? This is going to bring a lot of balance, a lot of joy. You're going to be experience abundance, darling dears, in every level. This is the universe giving you the proverbial genie in the bottle, and you are rubbing it the right way. Good golly and gosh. Posh. Clap. Okay. Let's go right in. Oh, I forgot the Oracle Ancestral message. Let's go with the Oracle Ancestral message. I'm going to use the Witch's Oracle Wisdom, I believe it is. If you know it, put it in the comments, darling dears. Message for my earth signs for the next 7 days. Was that coming out? No, it wasn't. Message for my earth signs for the next 7 days. Forgive give it one more shufti. Something definitely wants to come out, darling dear. You have to keep going for it till the right one comes on top or on bottom, whichever end it's going to come out. Thank you. That jumped right out, darling dears. You are a natural born healer, darling dears. It also speaks about your abilities, something that you've been keeping in the dark, or you've been playing what? Second fiddle. Well, you're about to be in first place. Whether you're a healer, something that you're doing that is otherworldly, darling dears. You could be in the medical profession. You could be a financial healer. Whatever you've been doing in the background, darling dears, it's time for you to what? Live out loud. It could also represent someone coming out of the closet, darling dears, listening to your higher mind. We've got a lot of green, so the energy of your heart chakra, darling dears. You learn to guard your heart, not close it. Okay, so this is going forward in love. It also speaks about you having forgiveness and forgiveness of past situations. You're moving forward with compassion, gratitude, and love, darling dears. We've got the element of purple here, darling dears. This is your crown chakra. So it's telling me that you have a deep connection to the divine. Again, the 8th house is a highly spiritual number, darling dears. It's telling me you've got a new level of wisdom. It's also being in connection with your higher self. This is yourself pushing you out there, darling dears. Out there. But definitely abundance is coming towards you. Base of the deck. Whatever you wish for, darling dears, is about to be delivered. Remember, I told you that. Hey, hey. Ooh, damn. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. So, let's look at your relationships over the next 7 days. Because the 8th house, like I said, it's a legacy, something being paid to you. Okay, insurance, joint finances and investment, retirement. And again, the 2nd house, this money is locked in, darling dears, locked in. The energy of the 2nd house is also about your past, darling dears, but it's about your reputation and it's about an upgrade in your wealth. Remember, I told you. This is also based on your self-worth, darling dears. You're about to have an upgrade. So as far as your relationships, one-to-one relationships, family, friends, how is your relationships over the next 7 days? Listen, we've got Venus and we've got the 3rd house. The 3rd house is about groups, darling dears. Venus rules, lean in, bestie. Lean in rules Taurus as well as Libra energy. Taurus, the house of money, darling dears, and Libra is about finding balance. Okay. Venus usually takes about 23 days to 2 months. So maybe the past 2 months or 23 days leading up to this time has been a tense period. Things are about to come into balance. Venus also represents what? Skrilla.com, darling dears. The folding stuff. It also speaks about, because Venus is about art, it's about beauty, it's about your personal magnetism. I already spoke about the money. Yeah, I spoke about the money, right? But it also speaks about harmony. It speaks into what? The law of attraction being on your side. Venus speaks about your relationships as well. Okay? Relationships as in what? 3 of Pentacles. Making new contacts. Yes! 100%, darling dears. Energy of the 3 is also what? Gemini energy. Gemini, the 3rd house in numerology, darling dears. The 3rd house is about communication. Something that you're doing on the internet, darling dears. Yeah, a phone, or it also encumbers you utilizing your intellect. You're being watched by many, darling dears. Family members, siblings, aunts, uncles, nephews and nieces. People in the background. Okay. Love it. I don't hate it. Okay. Moving on. Definitely something new coming in for you, darling dears. The energy of the 3 of Pentacles in the upright, I might add, is telling me of the new opportunities that are presenting themselves to you. Whatever you're doing, you're making it look easy. Back again to what? Law number 9 of the 48 laws of power. You're making it look effortless, darling dears, but nobody was there to witness your struggle, or your struggle is about to pay off in many directions. If it's to do with the Libra energy, this is some kind of court proceedings, maybe going in your favor, one-to-one relationships, and yes, the open enemies will always be there, darling dears. And if you ain't got an enemy, you need to put your back into it, darling dears. They are your motivation, the wind beneath your wings. But definitely moving forward as far as new people, new contacts, but it's also new contracts, because the energy of the Three of Pentacles is also representative of being recognized as a major craftsperson in your field, darling dears. Some form of teamwork or collaboration coming towards you. You can have lots of new options, darling dears, but it's about you continuing to pursue your goals, right? Definitely agreements, investments coming towards you, darling dears, over the next 7 days as far as your relationships are concerned. One more card on the relationships, please. But being recognized, darling dears. Venus is about the arts, it's about entertainment, it's about beauty, it's about music, it's all of the above, darling dears. Venus is also very nurturing, but Venus knows her worth. Yeah, expressing yourself. You've achieved some form of higher education, darling dears. The energy of the 7th house. This is people looking in, your associates, your peers. Definitely involving fashion and beauty. And somebody's coming forward, darling dears. You've got a secret admirer. 3 of Cups also represents dating. Yes, good golly and gosh. The 8 of Cups, darling dears, in the upright. Moving away from some kind of relationship. Again, it speaks about letting go. A situation which you may have found abusive in some way, shape or form. Base of the deck, the sun energy. So it was revolving around, if it's a work situation, it was around your vitality, darling dears, your health. Remember, I told you that. If you're moving away from a situation because of love, darling dears, you're saving yourself first, darling dears. No more orders need apply. Putting the past behind you like a ponytail. If it's in business, darling dears, this shows a new circumstance or situation that you're going into, but it's one which is going to be transformative for you, darling dears. It speaks about you walking with your self-esteem well and truly intact. You're feeling like the golden child. You may be the GOAT, the greatest of all times, darling dears, because what you've got coming towards you, darling dears. What about your friendships? Friendships. Friendships. Thank you. Okay. So we've got the water at dawn. We also have the 7 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. This is representative of the Page of Pentacles, darling dears. So there's been a lot of skullduggerous people around you, darling dears. Lots of emotions put into situations where your options were limited, meaning that whatever the options were, they weren't in your favor. We also have the 5 of Swords, darling dears, having to what? Wash your face like David, leaving situations behind. Knight of Cups also speaks about, for some, underneath Venus, you may be hearing of a pregnancy. Congratulations. A pregnancy going forward. This also speaks about somebody building a new foundation for themselves, a new level of structure. Okay, but you're definitely washing your face of the situation. You've got the 7 of Air. Sorry, the 8 of Air under the 5, darling dears. Whatever was happening in the past, that energy is going down, so it's getting lower. So it's definitely the transformation and the rebirth of you, darling dears. But you're coming out strong. Base of the deck, darling dears. The what? The 9 of Pentacles. This is Skrilla, darling dears. Getting your full-on wish fulfillment as far as your finances are concerned. Let me tell you something. If there ever was a boss out week, hey, okay. Your finances looking good in the hood. Page of Cups also speaks about offers being made to you, darling dears. Nine of Pentacles is you taking up these offers. We've got the Seven of Cups. It's showing me the options that are going to be at your disposal. This is a boss up week for you, darling dears. A boss up week. We've got the what? Air rising, darling dears. This is representative of the Knight of Swords in the upright. Moving forward again, it's getting over some kind of a heartbreaking situation. Situation may have involved some kind of surgery. Surgery could also be in the form of MRIs for some, okay? Some kind of checkup, a CT, whatever it is, darling dears. You're getting over some situation and you're moving towards the bag, darling dears. And it also speaks about a new level of understanding what you want going forward, what you will put up with as you go to these what? New levels, darling dears, as you hit the what? Jackpot. Oh, wow. This is a fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely week for you, darling dears. Utilizing the full energy of the Seven, knowing that you are blessed and guided. Your final card is Mercury, darling dears. It also speaks about short distance travels. It speaks about your siblings, as I already said, paying attention to what you've got going on. Maybe they've got a bone to pick with you, darling dears. They want vengeance. But how can you get vengeance when you're beefing with God? I don't understand it. Neither will you, darling dears. That is none of your business. Okay? Definitely washing your face like David, darling dears. And it also puts about putting down old rules, old wounds. The energy of Mercury's magician energy, darling dears, having all of the tools. It also speaks about a person coming in, someone, Mercury energy next to the air rising, someone who was a narc, darling dears. Someone or someone's energies that are moving away from you. As I said, you're putting that shiznai down. You have the Venus and Mercury in juxtaposed positions, darling dears. So this energy is harmonious for you, darling dears, balancing out whatever the options, the situation that is being presented to you at this moment in time. This is about you looking at a situation with no more illusions, no longer being deceptive in a situation, darling dears. And this is what is activating your choices, and the choices of the universe is saying yes to you, darling dears, financially, mentally, spiritually. But it's definitely money coming towards you, right? Base of the deck, the 10 of Pentacles, darling. You can't get any higher than this. You can't. Not in the minor arcana, darling dears. This is what? Skrilla.com, darling dears. Skrilla.com. You went through a very heartbreaking situation, but you got over that situation, right? We've now got the Five of Wands, where you was left out in the cold, or you're leaving someone out in the cold. Listen, Easter Island and Stevie Wonder to them. That's two of these, and one of those, I mean, love and light. You're leaving that situation behind, going towards your 11-11 fade, darling dears. This goes to the 5. This also speaks about what? 2 5s on the tableau, darling dears. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. This person was always contradictory in your life, darling dears. Again, it speaks about the open enemies. Yes, open enemies. We've also got what? The 7 of Pentacles. You're making the right investment. If it's a partner you're waiting on, you are waiting on the right partner, but you are about to reap the fruits of your labor. Something that you've been researching for some time. Anything from 23 to 2 months prior to this, or something that you're researching going forward. Either way, it's all good in your hood, darling dears. Fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. Yeah. Okay, let's get a final card, and then we're out of here to get great. I'm gonna go with the Island Times Wellness deck. Final message. Yeah, somebody's going to be dating, darling dears. You better check to make sure that they don't have the what? The duct tape and the chloroform. That's called researching everything, darling dears. Getting over some kind, oh my gosh, it's all falling in my hands. Some kind of heartbreaking decision, okay? That whatever you lost in that situation was a necessary loss in order for you to move forward. This is you sipping your mocha because you ain't getting smoked. Blood, brah. We'll see stream. Final card. The axe, darling dears. Cutting off a situation in order to move forward. And you're moving forward blessed and highly favored. Yes, kisses to those that are missing, darling dears. No one called the police. It also speaks about unconditional love. Maybe you gave too much love in a situation. You've taken it all back. You have your own power grid going forward. You get one more card. Yeah, leaving behind a grim reaper, darling. There's a narc if ever I saw one. They, them, and them, she, her, whatever. That shiznai is over, is finished. And it also, again, energy of the 8th house. A karmic cycle has ended for you. Remember, I told you that. This is why you are being blessed at this moment in time. Why? Because the energy of Saturn, you did it like a boss. Hey, hey! On that note, I drops me mic to love to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Big Cat Wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, 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 cat.